Hello everyone, welcome back to this video. So, as you can see in the beginning of this, I originally thought I was going to be doing a pants pattern. I had been looking through some of my grandmother's old pattern collections and thought I'd be making that type of pattern. However, I realized when I looked into the package that was holding the patterns, the pant patterns were like, there was a few that were still there, but then most of them were gone. But what I did find in that pant pattern was a shirt pattern with two fully nice patterns for the front and the back. And I decided, you know, let's see what this pattern makes. It looks like it would somewhat fit me pretty well. And it looked like I had the nice amount of darts on the sides and in the back. So I decided to try that out. So I'm cutting out the patterns out of this fabric. I originally thought that the pattern was tomatoes, but I think it's actually supposed to be apples or maybe cherries. I'm pretty sure apples though. But I for some reason really thought it was tomatoes, so that's interesting. But so after I cut all of it out, then I marked out where the darts were and cut those out on each piece of every panel. So the two fronts and the two backs. And what I didn't show is I also cut out a little necktie that is going to be attached to the back of the shirt. I never end up showing me filming that, but I do end up putting that in for the shirt because I think it looks kind of nice having a little necktie there. So after I finished that, I ironed out everything since that fabric had been folded up for a while. And what I do to close the shirt is I just use buttons, but I didn't ever show me sewing on the buttons, so just know that I ended up doing that as well. Then I lined up all of the pattern pieces to make sure the darts were all lined up in the right spot, and then I cut out the darts and I pinned them so that I could sew them back together. When I sewed them, I made sure not to backstitch the end of it so it would prevent puckering, but I did have to end up tying the ends so that they wouldn't end up accidentally coming undone, because that would be a horrible thing. Ironed that out and then I sewed on all the darts. But yeah, I sewed on all the darts and I knotted off the ends. Then I cut the darts after they were sewn so that I could iron them out. And then after I finished ironing all of them, then I started sewing together the front pieces and the back pieces. Then I cut out the sleeve pieces out of an old sleeve pattern that I had, and then I pinned them to the shirt and sewed them in. I try my best to be intricate with the sleeve design and when it comes to sewing in the sleeves, since even like the smallest amount of puckering or like slightest amount of it being uneven is noticeable, so you do have to be careful with sleeves, but I think I did a very good job on it. When it's something that's bulkier, I tend to hand sew it in, but with this, since it's only 2 layers, I decided to sew it in by machine, which was easy. I didn't have to take it out. And then I ironed it together, and then I serged the seams on the inside with this mini serger that I have that my grandmother gave me. She used to sew a lot, so she gave me a lot of her old machines and stuff. Yeah, it took a minute figuring out the tension for the serger, but I eventually got it figured out. And for the ends of it, I don't think you can backstitch, so I just would knot the ends off like I would do with the darts ends, and then I leveled out all of the seams on the inside, and I also serged the sides, the seams for the sleeves as well. And then I sewed a fairly long stitch at the end of the shirt so that I could use that as a kind of marker so I could know where to hem the end of it as well as in the sides. Then I ironed out everything and I sewed the hem on, and this is the final shirt.